beyond the title of founder, tell us कि आकाश कौशिक कौन है?
बड़े सिंपल सादे साधारण इंसान है. पीपल फील लाइक कि चाइना से बेस लाएंगे रख देंगे और हो जाएगा ना. ये कोई कारखाना नहीं है. इट्स मोर अबाउट मेकिंग अ सॉफ्टवेयर कंपनी, अ हार्डवेयर कंपनी and a EPC execution. We were solving a problem which was taken for granted. People were not taking it as a problem. Use of diesel generator is a norm. It's not something people consider as a problem. If we ever asked any customer of ours that time कि भैया आपका diesel generator लगता कितना है? We have no idea. अरे लगता होगा जितना लगता होगा, तो लगना ही है. It was totally a new category creation. This was not existing before. It was something like selling Bisleri to people which were drinking it all along from the Handpump before. There are two different kind of founders. One who just want to make money, and they are one who want to make legacy. We believe best has a very short life. Good enough stays for longer.
हर किसी को फ्यूचर के बारे में बोलना अच्छा लगता है, बट शायद कुछ ही लोग हैं जो इस फ्यूचर को बनाने के लिए, बिल्ड करने के लिए आगे निकल पड़ते हैं. आज के हमारे गेस्ट आकाश कौशिक, जो फाउंडर हैं गुड इनफ एनर्जी के, जो इस इंडिया की एनर्जी रेस को बिल्ड करने के लिए खुद आगे निकले और एक बेस की 7 गीगावाट आवर एनर्जी एनुअल कैपेसिटी फैक्ट्री को लगा भी डाला. आज की कॉन्वर्सेशन सिर्फ बेस के बारे में नहीं, उनकी स्ट्रगल, आकाश कौशिक के चैलेंजेस, उनके स्ट्रगल्स, उनके विजन के बारे में भी है. एंजॉय द शो. सो आकाश, हो सकता है आकाश कौशिक ये नाम हमारे लिसनर शायद पहली बार सुन रहे हो, तो बियॉन्ड द टाइटल ऑफ फाउंडर, टेल अस कि आकाश कौशिक कौन है?
कुछ नहीं जी, बड़े सिंपल सादे साधारण इंसान है. बचपन से ही वो क्यूरियोसिटी जो सब में होती है वही हम में भी थी. बस में बैठे जा रहे हैं, सारे बोर्ड पढ़ते जा रहे हैं, मम्मी पापा से अलग अलग तरीके के सवाल पूछ रहे हैं. ये तारे कहाँ से आते हैं, भैया से पूछ रहे हैं ये गोबर कहाँ से आता है.
Okay.
So that sort of a question I used to ask. People were tired of me, and that curiosity when it wasn't answered, and it continued through a time. और धीरे धीरे एक क्वेश्चन और आ गया कि यार ये इंडिया में इलेक्ट्रिसिटी कहाँ से आती है, बिजली कहाँ से आती है, कोयला तेल कहाँ से आता है. and then it gradually comes to a point कि यार हमारी तो डिपेंडेंस बहुत ज़्यादा इम्पोर्ट पे है. एंड वी फेस्ड अ ब्लैकआउट इन 2013 दैट टाइम. तो तब थोड़ा सा क्लिक कर गया कि यार ये तो इतनी बड़ी प्रॉब्लम है, एंड वी बीइंग द नेटिव ऑफ इंडिया, सिटीजन ऑफ इंडिया, वी शुड टेक दिस रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी हाउ टू हैंडल इट. एंड दैट्स वाज द प्रॉब्लम जिसको सॉल्व करते करते आज 13 साल हो गए हैं. एंड होपफुली आई विल कंटिन्यू टिल द लास्ट ब्रेथ ऑफ माइन.
वाओ. सो एक छोटा सा इंक्विजिटिव सा बच्चा आज actually working on some energy problem for India.
बोल सकते हैं जी. That's something, that's how it started, and curiosity is something which should be in everyone, and
Sure.
I carried it throughout, और अभी तक खत्म नहीं हो रही है.
और अभी भी खत्म नहीं हो रही है एक्चुअली. अभी भी काफी कुछ काम है शायद जो बड़े कर रहे हैं.
Keep on going. I keep on learning every day. जिस दिन हम कुछ नहीं पढ़े उस दिन मजा नहीं आता.
क्या बात है. ओके, तो उसी में जैसे हमने काफी बार सुना बैटरी एनर्जी स्टोरेज, जिसमें शायद अभी आप काम भी करते हैं
जी.
बट प्रोबेबली हम अगर देखें तो 13 साल पहले या 10 साल पहले ये कुछ एक फैशनेबल सा टर्म नहीं था, बट आपने फिर भी अब इस बेस्ट में घुसने की कोशिश करी. कोशिश नहीं, एक्चुअली एक मैन्युफैक्चरिंग फैसिलिटी भी बनाई
जी.
तो ऐसा क्या था जो आपको इस डायरेक्शन में मूव करा है?
So when I was a fresh graduate, I was in चांदनी चौक with a relative of mine. वो फ्लैश लाइट जो होती हैं आपकी, उसके रिपेयर करते थे. वहीं पे बैटरीज वगैरह भी थी. वो वही लेने आया.
सो वो लिथियम आयन
बैटरी थी
और लेड एसिड बेसिक.
नहीं, उस टाइम पर निकल कैडमियम और निकल मेटल हाइड्राइड
ओके
प्रोमिनेंट थी.
ओके.
तो लिथियम आयन थोड़ी महंगी होती थी.
ओके.
होता है ना, अपने इन्हें ग्रेजुएट होते हो तो आपको लगता है कि सारी दुनिया को सारा ज्ञान बांट दूं.
बिल्कुल.
मैं ही हूँ, सब जानता हूँ जो.
बिल्कुल
है ना. बट फिर धीरे धीरे आप बड़े होते हो तो आपको पता चलता है आपको कुछ नहीं पता है और किसी को कुछ नहीं पता है, सब जान रहे हैं. तो दैट्स हाउ इट हैपेंड. वो बंदा निकल मेटल हाइड्राइड बैटरी लेने आया अपनी डिफेंस एप्लीकेशन के लिए, एंड आई सेड कि लिथियम आयन क्यों नहीं यूज़ करते.
ये उसने आपको बताया?
नो, मैंने उसको आउट ऑफ लाइक भाई मैं जानता हूँ. एंड वो बोला वो क्या होता है. मैं कहा ऐसे ऐसे. मैंने कहा थोड़ी 10 रुपये महंगी है. मतलब आई मीन इन टर्म्स ऑफ पर वॉट।
हाँ दैट डे मतलब उस आपके
हाँ 40 रुपये वॉट चलती थी उस टाइम बैटरी। तो बोलता है 10 रुपये महंगी है, ये 30 रुपये वॉट है। मैंने कहा हाँ मेरा फ़ायदा क्या है, तो उसको 4 फ़ायदे गिनाए, उसको समझ आ गया। तो मैं बढ़िया है। तो मतलब आई वॉज नॉट इन टू बिजनेस, आई जस्ट शेयर्ड माई इंसाइट एंड इट हैपेंड। मुझे लगा कि काम बन जाएगा। चलो थोड़ा
पहला स्टेप था शायद उसकी तरफ।
सो इट वाज अ वेरी स्मॉल रूम ऑफ 9x9 और समथिंग, 4th फ्लोर चांदनी चौक, वेयर वी स्टार्टेड। ये छोटी सी फैक्ट्री, बैटरियाँ बनानी स्टार्ट करी। लोगों को यही समझाने में पूरा प्रेजेंटेशन निकल जाती थी कि लिथियम आयन बेटर है लेड एसिड और निकल मेटल हाइड्राइड से। आज तो सब जानते हैं। इट वाज एक्सपेंसिव ऑल्सो दैट टाइम। और फिर धीरे 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 चलते चले आए। 2019 के आसपास में हमें रियलाइज़ हुआ कि R&D इज़ समथिंग एसेंशियली मिसिंग फ्रॉम इंडिया। तो एक हमने 3 ज्योमेट्री नाम की एक R&D फर्म भी खोल दी। उससे हमने 13-14 कंपनियों को अच्छा खासा हेल्प किया इंडिया में। एंड 2020 में मोदी जी का नेशनल एनर्जी स्टोरेज मिशन आया था। सो दैट नोटिफिकेशन एनलाइटेंड मी, यार सही है। आज ऑलमोस्ट हमें हो गए हैं 7-8 साल बैटरी बनाते हुए। एंड गवर्नमेंट इज़ ऑल्सो क्रिएटिंग पॉलिसी। दैट वाज द टाइम आई वाज वेटिंग फॉर। And then we started making BESS for like some advanced high kilowatt hours or megawatt hour kind of a thing inception. और 2023 में we just made GoodEnough Energy as 7 gigawatt hour annual capacity factory.
Wow. So on that actually, so January में हम सब ने एक हेडलाइन सुना कि GoodEnough Energy ने कमीशन किया है एक 7 गीगावाट आवर कैपेसिटी मैन्युफैक्चरिंग प्लांट।
जी जी जी।
सो ये सुनने में तो काफ़ी बड़ा लगता ही है, बट शायद वो फील जो एग्जैक्ट कितना ये बड़ा है, शायद वो आज अगर आप हमें बता सकें तो। सो लेट्स ब्रेक इट डाउन कि कितना मेगा है ये
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल। सो इट्स अबाउट द पर्सपेक्टिव। व्हेन यू सी इट फॉर अ कंट्री लाइक इंडिया, तो ये बहुत छोटा है। लाइक 500 गीगावाट आवर इज द कंट्रीज रिक्वायरमेंट। तो 7 गीगावाट इज वेरी मिनिसिकल इन फ्रंट ऑफ 500। बट अगर आप इसको पर्सपेक्टिव में समझें तो अगर एक घर का लोड 5 किलोवाट होता है
जी,
तो मोटा मोटा 14 लाख घर अर्बन सिटीज़ के कैटर हो सकते हैं।
14 लाख
हाउस विद 5 किलोवाट कनेक्शन। और सम सेमी अर्बन की बात करें तो वहाँ 2-1 किलोवाट का लोड रहता है तो 35 लाख।
वाह।
So it's massive in that terms, but when we consider it for the scale of our country, it's minuscule.
वाह। तो एक्चुअली वी वर ऑल्सो डूइंग दीज नंबर्स। सो अगर हम बोलें कि 7 गीगावाट आवर एनुअली है, तो शायद मंथली कहीं 0.58 और 5 गीगावाट आवर हो जाता है। और शायद डेली अगर देखे जाए तो यही नंबर एक 19 मेगावाट आवर के हिसाब से होता है।
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल बिल्कुल।
सो व्हेन वी वर डूइंग सच नंबर्स, तो हमें लगा कि आज अगर एक बैटरी है जो किसी भी गाड़ी की अगर नॉर्मली लिया जाए इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल का कुछ अराउंड 50 किलोवाट के हिसाब से भी ले, सो इट वाज मैसिव दैट यू कैन एक्चुअली हैव बैटरी फॉर लाइक 300-400 कार्स एवरी डे।
Relatively you are right.
Every day. So this is massive. Like आज तो शायद अगर हम EVs के हिसाब से इसको कैलकुलेट करना चाहिए।
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल। सो EV जैसा आपने बोला कि हम लोग 50 किलोवाट की बैटरी मानते हैं, और जब हम चार्ज करते हैं तो घर पे तो वो 5 किलोवाट का ही हाउस होल्ड लोड होता है जिससे हम उसको चार्ज करते हैं।
Yes.
But when it comes to, as you rightly said, 19 megawatt in a day, so that comes somewhere like 3 to 4 containers of battery. Yeah. Wow. So that's the number. So that's what we can make every day. We are capable of doing it, and somehow it's more like one or a little more than one container per shift.
Per shift.
Yeah.
Okay. And that shift would be some hours.
8 hours. 8 hour shift. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. So अब ये स्केल एक्चुअली थोड़ा थोड़ा और बेहतर लग रहा है या समझ आ रहा है।
हमारी बैटरी भी 50 किलोवाट की ही होती है।
Okay.
But we make 100 batteries in one container.
In one container. Yeah.
Relatively, actually 96, but just for understanding 100. So आपका 50 कार की जो 50 किलोवाट आवर वाली 100 बैटरियाँ हम एक शिफ्ट में बना दें।
Wow. Wow. That's a scale I think जो इंडिया भी आजकल ढूंढ रहा है या आगे बढ़ने के लिए बहुत जरूरी है।
If we have to compete with countries like China, those who work on scale and parity, वो पैरिटी को अगर मैच करना है, कॉस्ट को मैच करना है, एंड अंडरस्टैंडिंग को मैच करना है, एंड इफ वी हैव टू बी इक्विवेलेंट टू दोज व्हेन वी आर एक्सपोर्टिंग आउटसाइड इंडिया,
यस,
पीपल वुड लाइक टू सी द सेम स्केल एज they have in China. Otherwise, why would they trust us?
Okay. और अगर कंपैरिजन में देखा जाए तो इज दिस इंडियाज लार्जेस्ट
हमारी नॉलेज के साथ
as on today?
एज ऑफ डेट, क्या
ओके। और अगर वर्ल्ड ग्लोबली इसका कोई कंपैरिजन देखा जाए तो
कुछ भी नहीं,
सबसे
चाइना बहुत आ गया, बहुत।
सो व्हाट इज दैट नंबर, मतलब इफ यू टॉक
नहीं, चाइना में तो छोटा सा मैन्युफैक्चर भी 25-26 गीगावाट की फैक्ट्री लेके
वाओ वाओ। मतलब दैट इज वेयर आई थिंक शायद इंडिया और चाइना का भी अगर हम कंपैरिजन, दैट इज वेयर वी आर एंड वेयर चाइना इज।
दैट्स सिंपल। they are economy of $30 trillion, we are economy of $4 trillion, 10 times.
That's a scale that we can actually talk about. तो इसी फैक्ट्री में थोड़ा और अंदर चलते हैं। तो जैसे हम बोलते हैं जब भी बैटरी एनर्जी स्टोरेज की बात होती है तो लोगों को लगता है शायद एक कंटेनर है, बॉक्सेस हैं, लॉट ऑफ बैटरीज अराउंड इट। बट बिकॉज क्योंकि आप एक मैन्युफैक्चरिंग फैसिलिटी चलाते हैं, खुद आपने ये डेवलप करी भी है, तो व्हाट ऑल हैपेंस इन अ फैक्ट्री इफ वी से, तो उसको अगर डीमिस्टिफाई कर सके कि सिर्फ बैटरी नहीं, शायद कुछ और की भी बातें हो रही हैं।
So let me just put it in simple terms. ये कोई कारखाना नहीं है। It's not just कि आपने एक फैक्ट्री लगा दी है, भैया आप एक प्रोसेस है, हो जाएगा काम। It's a very complicated subject, and it's more about making a software company, a hardware company, and a EPC execution company.
Okay.
All three together in one place, then you make a best company. You have to work on mechanics, you have to work on electronics and electrical, you have to work a lot on thermal, you have to work on cyber security because it's a grid security thing, you have to work on IT because it needs lots of networking and communication between every component, and then a software which will handle the flow of electricity की कब कितना चार्ज होना है, डिस्चार्ज होना है, नहीं होना है, and how to control that flow.
Yes.
So this all has to be included into one stack of engineering, and that's what BESS is. और इसको करने में like it's not just a factory. It's not just a factory.
तो उसके पीछे एक्चुअली एक फैक्ट्री के पीछे तो है एक हार्डवेयर जो आपने बताया, जो हम बैटरीज वगैरह की बात कर रहे हैं, शायद नॉट जस्ट बैटरीज, कंटेनर्स एंड अ लॉट ऑफ अदर इक्विपमेंट्स आल्सो दैट गोज अराउंड। उसके साथ आपने जैसे बताया सॉफ्टवेयर काफी एक इम्पोर्टेंट फैक्टर है, स्पेसिफिकली जो सिक्योरिटी की हम बात करते हैं।
Exactly.
और शायद फिर उसको execution, the third that you mentioned.
Yeah, the execution in terms of, like, you know, safety is a part of execution. If you have executed in a way it's not safe anymore, then what sort of execution you have done?
Exactly.
है ना, रोज बैटरी फटती है, एक छोटी स्कूटी की बैटरी फटती है तो कैसा लगता है? थिंक अबाउट 5 मेगावाट, 5000 किलोवाट की बैटरी फटेगी तो कैसा होगा?
Wow.
And we regularly see it, no, last year, and we see it from people like Tesla, Moss Landing. And so if those sound engineering companies can make mistakes in safety, I don't think it's easy.
For sure, it's not easy. And actually, great example actually, because Tesla को तो हम मानते हैं कि शायद pioneer of, and it is actually because the number of vehicle जो उन्होंने बना चुके हैं शायद, पर अभी भी कुछ एक fault शायद बची है जिसकी वजह से कुछ ना कुछ एक मिसहैप अगर हो पा रहा है।
पिछले भी
then it's still
BYD में हुआ ना?
Again,
So if BYD
again another one of the biggest, the largest firm in the country, I would say.
So don't think any random person will come up any day and will assemble few cells together and put a BMS on it and it will work. No, it doesn't work like this.
It won't. Wow. तो आपने जब ये हेडलाइन हमने पढ़ा भी, उसके साथ हमने एक और चीज जो पढ़ा था, that was like 7 gigawatt of hour of factory and the investment that has gone is around 450 crores if I'm correct, right?
Yeah.
बट रिसेंटली एक न्यूज अप्रैल में अभी आया, आई थिंक फ्रॉम न्यूरॉन एनर्जी, दे आर आल्सो क्रिएटिंग अ सिमिलर अ 5 gigawatt hour of factory, बट द इन्वेस्टमेंट जो उन्होंने कोट किया है दैट इज अराउंड 100 crores. So why is this difference? So where we are talking about like 4 times different, I know there is additional 2 gigawatt of hour, but ये जो difference है वो उसका क्या reason हो सकता है?
So the news was,
and are they doing something better which you are not, basically, if you are 4x expensive?
No, it's not about being expensive. Actually, we are more economic, and the amount of investment what we have done for our capex and R&D and product development is way less than 100 crore.
Okay.
Actually, till date we have invested 120 CR.
Okay.
450 CRs we are committed to invest in for further development of PCS, BMS and other aspect, extending our production line from 7 to 21 giga. So that was the headline. that we
Okay.
will be investing 450
Yes. I think 25 gigawatt are is what you have.
Yes. So that's the further extension of our line. Today we make using 314 Ah and 394 Ah cells. So then moving to the large format cells of 1000 Ah and 628 Ah. So uske liye hum alag line lagayenge.
Okay.
And then this PCS manufacturing is something which is coming up in the coming year. So that
PCS again, you'll have to define.
PCS is a power conditioning system. It's more like a device, a bidirectional device which converts AC to DC, DC to AC.
जी.
So क्योंकि बैटरी जो है वो एक DC ब्लॉक है.
Yes.
So you have to convert.
Yes. All our electricity जो grid से आ रहा है, everything is flowing as AC.
हाँ, तो
So
उसको
for battery.
चार्ज करने के लिए भी DC में चेंज करना है, and then when you have to discharge it, then again AC convert करना है.
Then again DC to AC. Back.
Exactly. More than that, PCS is not just simply a device which is converting AC to DC, DC to AC. It has more functions as like it gives you a black start capability, high switchover times, a very small switchover time as like 20 milliseconds.
Yes.
It has virtual grid synchronization, so it's synchronized with grid.
Okay.
And it helps you to form a grid sometime when grid is not available in islanding mode. So it balances the fluctuations of voltage and frequency to the grid also. So like as an ancillary support.
Yes.
So it's not just an inverter. So PCS is a very complicated device, and it varies for the pricing also. Just for insight to the viewers, if you are using a IGBT PCS, if you are using a silicon carbide.
Again, you are quoting some terms. IGBT PCS would be?
So IGBT is a switching device into the PCS. It's more like a MOSFET
Okay.
for easy understanding. And for high current you use IGBTs. So
सर्च को बचाने के लिए?
No, so it's a switching device.
Switching device.
Which switch when to charge, when to discharge.
Okay.
Yeah. So this switching on and off.
Okay.
Inside the PCS, and this module of IGBT, and if you use silicon carbide, that's the more advanced technology, and then if you use a GaN, gallium nitride, which recently ISRO was able to make first time in India for their space satellites and all.
Wow.
So if you use GaN, the difference of cost is 4 times, starting from IGBT to GaN.
Wow.
So the PCS will increase the cost accordingly. And this helps in improvising the efficiency of the PCS. The derating of the PCS GaN have almost no derating. So that's why they use in space. Temperature increase होने से उसकी efficiency drop नहीं होगी.
Wow.
Yeah. And the conversion efficiencies are 99.9% at higher temperature also.
Okay.
Whereas in IGBT, if the temperature is more than 25 degree or 30 degree, the efficiencies drop.
Okay. चाहे वो minor ही हो, but वो drop होना is a
substantial.
big cost.
It's substantial. आपका 99 से अगर वो 80 आता है, you are losing 20% of your energy.
Yes.
And 20% of your energy every day for 365 days and 12 years, your project will be in loss.
Yes.
Yeah. So choosing a PCS is also an art. It's not that easy. Again, just कि भी PCS ही तो है लगा दो.
Okay. Wow. So एक factory के अंदर actually such things goes up, and possibly these are the reasons for the cost difference also is coming.
No, cost. I repeat again, there is no cost difference. We have invested
so you mentioned
only
that 100 crores you have
CR.
already said. Yes.
We have invested only 120 CR till date.
Yes. So basically, are you doing better than I would say, क्योंकि आपका 7 gigawatt आ रहा है, इनका 5 gigawatt है.
And this 120 includes 4 years of R&D also. We started in 2020, and then since then and 2023 was the inception of incorporation of the company, but we started our operation in 2022 only.
Okay.
उस टाइम कुछ MCA का प्रॉब्लम चल रहा था, कंपनी रजिस्टर ही नहीं होती थी, वो Infosys to TCA ट्रांसफर हो रहा था.
Okay.
So, but we started our operation in 22 itself.
Okay.
For GoodEnough.
Okay. Just the registration took time, और ये सब process already चल रहा था. But let's go back to the costing that you have, like 120 crores, such a big ecosystem to develop. Who is backing GoodEnough Energy to such a big capital? We have not seen any promoter. We have not seen any VC funds that you have raised.
So we have 3
क्या
partners.
है जो?
So we are totally 3 partners.
Yes.
Me, Mr. Gaurav Agarwal, and Mr. Deepak Agarwal.
Okay.
We have collaboratively invested in this company, and this is our own captive fund. That's why we don't want to risk on anything. It's our money. It's not something we have got from investor or maybe a VC or a private equity. So it's all ours.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So इतना एक investment है, how does actually BESS makes money? For example, now that you have invested 100 crores, right? And we are not talking about some confidential stuff here, but possibly what are the steps that feels like these are the expenses, but these are some revenue streams that you look at in the future?
So see, let me tell you.
Because if अगर मैं 100 rupees में invest करूँगा, I would want a 400 rupees out of that. You have invested 100 crores, and I'm very sure you're looking at 1,000 crores in at least 5-10 years, whatever that time frame is.
Yeah. So how it works, it's very different. There are two different kind of founders, businessmen. One who just want to make money, and they are one who want to make legacy.
Okay.
Yeah. So what we are making in Good Enough is a legacy for coming generations of ours, and I specifically mean my coming generation. Mr. Gaurav Agrawal's coming generation, Mr. Deepak Agrawal's coming generation. So we want to create a legacy for them, that when we are not here in this place of earth, then they feel proud about it, that our ancestors have done something for us. So the idea is very different. So even if we don't make money today, we are creating something as an asset for our coming generation. And those who just want to make money, or maybe raise funds, or maybe do IPO and get funds for that, that's a different strategy. I am not saying that that is wrong, but that's not our motive. So how we are planning to get revenue, that's a different revenue stream. It's not only just putting batteries and then getting revenue as a service model or kind of a thing. It's more about building technologies for energy storage that may not be subjective to batteries only, if needed be.
Okay.
But if,
like what use cases in that case? If not,
so let me give you some conventional examples. Grid use it for peak shaving,
yes,
for energy arbitrage, and maybe just for ancillary support.
Okay.
But where we use our system is more about economizing a factory. First time example, a factory which had a land in some farmlands. They started and they made a CLU of it, the change of land use from agriculture to industrial. But they are still connected with a rural feeder today.
What?
Rural feeder or rural grid.
Grids, अच्छा.
Yeah, rural feeder.
Old grid basically जो
Old
इतना
grid.
support नहीं करता होगा.
So as per CERC today, a rural feeder is allowed to have a 4 hours of load shedding.
4 hours of load shedding. Wow.
So DISCOM will not have any impact.
Okay.
If there is a 4 hours of load shedding. So this 4 hours of load shedding happens legally with this manufacturer, and they use diesel generator at that time.
Yes.
So we just optimize their diesel generator operation by our system. That was a sick unit. He was making loss out of it. But as of today, in 9 months only, he has got all the payback.
In 9 months?
In 9 months.
Wow.
And he's running. He's very happy. He feels godly about us, that we came into his life. So it's a very different kind of feeling.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like 4 hours का जो load shedding हो रहा था,
Yeah.
उसको you were able to
handle with the BESS at
handle
an
with
economic cost. You understand? So BESS generator works on a operating cost of 25 to 30 rupees.
Okay.
Yeah. So 1 लीटर
Per
में
unit.
1 लीटर डीजल में 3 यूनिट बनती है.
Okay.
And
100 रुपए के हिसाब से nearly.
मोटा 30-33 रुपए, थोड़ा एफिशिएंसी कम ज़्यादा हो जाए ऑपरेशन कि भाई 125 केवी का जनसेट है, उसने चलाया ही 50 केवी पे.
Of course, yeah.
So मोटा 3 यूनिट बनती है, या 25 से 30 रुपए की एक यूनिट आती है. Whereas when he is using as of now with solar plus BESS,
okay,
it comes somewhere about 5 rupees.
But the initial investment cost would also be higher, right? उन्होंने solar भी लगाया है, BESS भी लगाया है.
Yes. So BESS is something which he is having on rental basis.
Okay.
Yeah. So let me just discount that for a while and understand this. 125 केवी का जनरेटर है, तो आपके हिसाब से अगर उसकी हम पर आवर ऑपरेटिंग डीजल की हम कैलकुलेशन करें
जी, तो
इट विल कम समवेयर अबाउट 20 to 30 लीटर्स.
ओके.
मोटा
ठीक है.
30 लीटर डीजल कितने का हुआ?
समवेयर अराउंड 3000 रुपीस ऑलमोस्ट.
हाँ. अब हम बात करते हैं 4 घंटे अगर चलेगा तो 12,000 रुपये।
12,000 रुपये लगे।
12,000 रुपये का डेली लग रहा है तो महीने का कितना हुआ?
3.6 lakhs,
12 मंथ्स का
somewhere around 48 lakhs, somewhere around 45, 48 lakhs.
लेट्स से दैट। सो ये इतना उसका फ्यूल लग रहा था, अब ये फ्यूल नहीं लग रहा है,
Okay,
है ना? नाउ ही हैज़ अ सोलर एंड बेस।
yes,
तो सोलर से जो उसकी यूनिट आ रही थी वो वेस्ट भी हो रही थी पहले,
okay.
है ना? नाउ ही इज स्टोरिंग इट टू द बेस
Now he's storing, yeah.
और उसको यूज़ करते हैं। तब ये जो उनका डीजल का कॉस्ट बच गया इज इक्वलेंट टू द इन्वेस्टमेंट ऑफ द बेस विच ही हैज़ ऑलरेडी रिकवर्ड इन 9 मंथ्स और 12 मंथ्स।
So the solar और जो बेस्ट लगा है वो somewhere around 40 lakhs का cost था, but he has recovered that in 1 year,
लेट्स से दिस,
almost 1 year.
let's say
Basically.
this,
That's what you
this way.
Wow. Okay, that's great actually. If that's happening, and because you're telling a true example also.
Yeah, it's here and mirrored only.
Okay,
very
wow.
close to your
तो किसी को अगर देखना हो और ये लाइव एग्जांपल पूछना हो तो ज़्यादा दूर नहीं है दिल्ली से।
ज़्यादा दूर नहीं है। So actually it's on Sardhana Road only, your way to home.
Perfect. तो इसी उसमें बिकॉज वी वांटेड कि कौन यूज केसेस इसके ज़्यादा अच्छे समझते हैं, तो आज अगर देखा जाए तो बेस्ट के यूज केसेस सबसे आसानी से कौन समझ पाता है? आर दीज यूटिलिटीज, डिस्कॉम, सीएनआई सेंटर्स और अदर कंज्यूमर कैटेगरी
जो पेन में जिसकी अटकी हुई है,
ओके,
है ना? अभी अभी किसकी अटकी हुई है? कुछ तो गवर्नमेंट पॉलिसी ने अटका दी, महाराष्ट्र में अटका दी जैसे, है ना? Now they have like 50% solar, 50%
yeah
gas.
it's a little confusing I think for user now.
For few it is confusing, but you know recently अभी एक वो महाराष्ट्र का 7 मेगावाट का टेंडर भी आया है गांव के लिए, 8-10 गांव हैं,
ओके,
है ना? तो उसमें उन्होंने वो इक्वल प्रोपोर्शन मतलब बताया है कि 100 किलोवाट का सोलर लगाना है, 400 किलोवाट का आपको बेस लगाना है।
ओके,
सो दे हैव गिवन 10 साइट्स सच लाइक, वो 7 मेगावाट का आपका कम्युलेटिव टेंडर है वो,
ठीक है।
so that's something you may call it as a microgrid for those villages जहाँ पर ग्रिड की कनेक्टिविटी नहीं पहुँच सकती है। गवर्नमेंट हैज़ मेड दिस सिस्टम कि सोलर प्लस बेस लगाएंगे और गांव को पूरा एनर्जाइज कर देंगे।
यस,
एंड इट्स बेटर देन व्हाट सौभाग्य डिड, क्योंकि सौभाग्य स्कीम में क्या था, बैटरी हर एक हाउस होल्ड को हैंड ओवर करी जाती थी,
चाहे उसको वो यूज़ करे ना करे,
हाँ, या बेच दे।
ओके, ट्रू, वेरी ट्रू एक्चुअली।
बट माइक्रोग्रिड इज अ ऑन कम्युनिटी लेवल।
यस,
थेफ्ट का केस खत्म हो गया, एंड एफिशिएंसी एंड मैनेजमेंट ज़्यादा अच्छा होगा, एंड दिस विल वर्क बेटर देन व्हाट वाज डन बिफोर। और इफ़ यू कंपेयर इट विद अ सेंट्रल 500 मेगावाट का अगर एक बेस एक जगह लगाया जाए कंपैरेटिवली, बिकॉज उसमें फिर ट्रांसमिशन लॉस अलग से होते हैं।
अग्रीड, मतलब दैट्स डेफिनेटली अ वन पीस दैट्स डेफिनेटली बेटर एक्चुअली।
हाँ, तो अब जैसे महाराष्ट्र में वी हैव लॉट्स ऑफ क्वेरीज फ्रॉम महाराष्ट्र, lots and lots, like it's for the reason because of the policy. Same goes in Rajasthan also. वहाँ पे मैंडेट है कन्फर्म, लाइक आपको अगर आपका 15 मेगावाट का आपका सोलर लगाया है आपने,
ओके,
तो यू हैव टू इंस्टॉल 10% ऑफ इट, लाइक 1.5 मेगावाट ऑफ बेस एज अ मैंडेटरी।
10% is the best mandate basically. Wow.
So
I think it's a good, मतलब गवर्नमेंट का एक अच्छा इनिशिएटिव है।
It's very good initiative. Actually, it was required time back. You know, we are surplus in electricity today. India produce 2% extra electricity as we require.
Okay.
But फिर भी load shedding रहता है।
फिर भी load shedding है, definitely.
क्योंकि the generation is at the time when it is not required. दोपहर में होता है, जब सूर्यदेव प्रचंड होते हैं।
Yeah.
But the peak
So
comes
basically the idea is if you're storing it, so it can be used at any time.
Yes. So curtailment, last year India had curtailment of 2 terawatt hours. 2 terawatt hours की बिजली वेस्ट हुई है। अगर हमारे पास उसके लिए स्टोरेज होता तो वी वुड हैव अवॉइडेड द नेशनल लॉस।
And we are talking about crores here?
No, it's billions actually.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, 2 trillion means you can understand it's more like our economy, and multiply by 5 rupees of unit.
So it's good getting bigger. Okay, yeah. Let's not get into that first then.
It's more like our economy, the whole GDP.
Yeah. Wow. So that was amazing numbers. And who are your customers for BESS basically? Are you specifying your categories that you're selling BESS to these, or it's like anybody who wants to use it? As जैसे आपने कहा जिसका भी.
So there are 2 categories. One is for C&I, the commercial and industrial units. Those who want grid independence, they want to create their own grid, open access or those sort of a thing. And the second is the utility, as you were talking about this BSES Rajdhani.
Yes.
Yeah, Abhishek ji.
Yes.
So we last week only we installed one BESS set in Saket.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's a very different case, really different case. And then we got another case which is just opposite to BSES Rajdhani. Just see it this way. आपका एक लोकेलिटी है जहाँ पे 400 kVA का ट्रांसफार्मर लगा हुआ है, बट CRC की गाइडलाइन कहती है कि आप किसी भी ट्रांसफार्मर को 70% लोड तक चलाएंगे.
ओके.
बट
400 किलोवाट का ट्रांसफार्मर.
हाँ, 400 kVA का ट्रांसफार्मर. अब होता क्या है कि वो शाम को पीक पे चला जाता है, 400 kVA फुल थ्रॉटल. हाउ ट्रांसफार्मर वर्क्स इज लाइक, और एनी फिजिक्स वर्क्स इज कि जब आपका कोई भी चीज़ 100% लोड पे चलती है तो एफिशिएंसी ड्रॉप हो जाती है, बिकॉज ऑफ द करंट इज वेरी हाई, रेजिस्टेंस इज वेरी हाई, I/R losses are very high, heat generation is very high, and that gives you a load of 3% of efficiency of the transformer. मतलब 3% आपकी बिजली वेस्ट होती है.
Okay.
So the best idea was, as follow the CERC guideline, upgrade the transformer, which is a wired asset. So you have to get approval from PWD, CERC, and then municipality, and maybe the forest department if there are trees across it, and then float a tender, and it will take a time of 8 to 12 months.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
तो एक साल प्रॉपर लग रहा है इसको.
हाँ. And the alternative was just to install a RBESS, a side of transformer. जब पीक आएगा तो 300 kVA ट्रांसफार्मर से जाएगा और 100 kVA BESS से जाएगा. What this will help is optimizing the efficiency of transformer, deferral of the cost, fast execution, plus an advantage, extra advantage of energy arbitrage. What this Discom was purchasing from IEX for 10 rupees, now they don't have to.
They don't have to, yeah.
They purchase in the lean hours for 1 rupee or 1.5 rupee, and then discharge for the peak hours.
True.
So the saving was massive, and the alternative was quick and fast.
Do we have any numbers around it? मतलब जितना अभी कोई ये सेविंग्स वगैरह के कोई नंबर ऑलरेडी आ चुके हैं? These are some expected numbers.
No, it's running. It's live and running. So when it comes to payback, it will be in 2 to 2.5 years. That's all.
Wow. I think those numbers when get published after 2 years, that is a largest of the saving that people will start seeing.
Yeah.
A practical view of the best technology.
Yeah, there are some cases where the requirement is just opposite, as like in Kerala. Kerala government don't give approval for rooftop solars now.
Don't give. Because they are excess of it now?
Yeah, it's excess. Now, when they generate excess in known, the transformer cannot handle.
Okay. What will they do?
Send it back to the grid.
Okay.
So it's just opposite of what is in Delhi.
So that's a saturated market then?
Yes. So the best way is, again, just to install a BESS right at the community level. Store the energy from them, and then again supply it back to them.
Yeah. That's the next step possibly the government should now look at.
With least transmission losses. Because they are generating, you are storing it for them, and then again supplying it back to them. Without using transformer, without using anything.
Very nice, Akash. Some great numbers actually, and some good visualizations across the state also. But because you've been running this company for now 3 years almost.
Yes.
And previously some companies also. So अगर एक बेस्ट की कंपनी देखा जाए तो एक डीप टेक कंपनी भी है, because we have talked about hardware, software, everything included, right? So what has been the exact challenges to you, or the top challenges that you faced in last 3 सालों में? क्या वो एक ट्रस्ट थिंग है, या पीपल वर द चैलेंज, और पॉसिबली पेशेंस रखना कि जब ये फैक्ट्री होगी एंड देन वी विल हैव सम गुड फ्यूचर?
I can still recall the problems when we were sitting around the huddle room and discussing, ho kya raha hai. We actually, what we were doing when we started, BESS was not very common subject. इसकी full form भी नहीं पता थी 3 साल पहले बहुत सारे लोगों को.
True.
The first tender for UPPCL was L1 bid by us only.
Okay, this is which year?
June 2023.
23. Okay.
Yeah. And we were L1 against JSW ECME अवार्ड. वो आईसा वाली लिस्ट देखोगे तो उसमें सबसे ऊपर कॉन्ट्रीब्यूटर मिलकर हमारा नाम दिख जाएगा.
Very nice.
So that's where we started. And उसके बाद वो प्राइस रेस जो हुई वो तो एक अलग ही चीज़ थी. बट when we talk to C&I and the customer, when we really want to work on ground and understand, not the discoms, to the people, the actual industrialist, we found that we were solving a problem which was taken for granted. That was the biggest issue. People were not taking it as a problem. Use of diesel generator is a norm. It's
Yes.
not something people consider as a problem
As
at
a
all.
problem.
They feel it's normal.
Because it's a backup. Possibly
Yeah.
उनको कोई एक ऐसी चीज़ है जो electricity दे रही है. For them it was probably usual.
Exactly, it was
is, yeah.
normal. And if we ever asked any customer of ours that time कि भैया आपका diesel generator लगता कितना है, he had no idea.
True.
No idea. It was taken for granted. अरे लगता होगा जितना लगता होगा, ये तो
लगना ही है.
Whatever is the cost component added to the product.
Wow.
So the problem was, we were solving a problem which was taken for granted for years. It was totally a new category creation. BESS was not existing before. It was something like selling Bisleri to people which were drinking it all along from the Handpump before.
Okay.
है ना? अब हम कह रहे हैं यार ये बिस्लरी की बोतल ले लो, वो कहता है पानी तो फ्री मिलता है यार, कैसी बातें कर रहे हो. या और समथिंग लाइक व्हाट हैपेंड टू ईवी आल्सो. स्टिल पीपल आर फेसिंग द सेम प्रॉब्लम. लाइक सबको रेंज एंजाइटी है. आज 500 किलोमीटर की कार भी आ गई, तब भी आदमी को लगता है 500 किलोमीटर के बाद क्या. सेम हैपेंड विद बेस आल्सो. 2 घंटे बाद क्या, तब भी तो डीजल जनरेटर चलेगा ना. दे वर नॉट कंसिडरिंग इट. इट इज ऑप्टिमाइजिंग योर फ्यूल एफिशिएंसी. इट इज हेल्पिंग. एनवायरनमेंट इज वेरी सेकेंडरी टू एवरीवन. You know, we may talk in cold rooms, AC rooms always, कि we are environment sustainability and all, but on ground, no one cares. No one cares. That's the fact.
Of course, for people जो रह रहे हैं उनके लिए utility matter करता है कि ये मेरे लिए काम करता है. That's it.
That's it.
Environment is definitely could be secondary for them.
Yeah, and even for the big companies, ESG compliance is just a paper washing. They do it for doing purpose. They don't have intent of doing any ESG thing. Like you may just list down top 1,000 companies and see what activities they would have done for their ESG compliance. You can easily figure it out. This is done for doing only.
Okay.
Not very complicated. It's very easy to understand and contemplate. So the first problem was we were solving a problem which was taken for granted. Second problem was people had this thought that this is only for 2 hours. What after 2 hours? This is only for 4 hours. What after 4 hours? The anxiety was
चाहे ज़रूरत हो या ना हो.
Yeah. ज़रूरत हो या ना हो. Exactly. The average commute of any Indian here is 30 kilometers per day. But we talk about what after 500 kilometers. It's insane.
Exactly.
Yeah. Average load shedding in India is only 2 hours. That's why we designed the system for 2 hours.
That's why probably these systems were designed like that.
So just to optimize, we are not saying this is disaster management. This is optimizing your efficiency. So let's work in that way. Third problem was optimism of people. You know, हमारे घर के आगे जो रोड होती है, अगर उसका बनना होता है तो हम बोलते हैं अपने लोकल एमएलए वगैरह से बात करते हैं, तो वो बोलता है कि यार होली के बाद बनेगी. फिर दोबारा बात होती है, होली चली जाती है, दिवाली के बाद बनेगी, है ना. इट कीप ऑन गोइंग एंड विद दैट आंसर we never repair the slope in front of our house.
Of course.
कि यार बनेगी तो तोड़ेगा, और 3 साल निकल जाते हैं, 4 साल निकल जाते हैं, हमारा स्लोप वैसे ही रहता है कि यार नहीं बन जाएगी. तो हमारा ऑप्टिमिज्म बहुत हाई है, मे बी बिकॉज ऑफ गवर्नमेंट पॉलिसी और सिस्टम और व्हाटएवर, हो या ना हो. सो दैट्स व्हाट पीपल हैव द फीलिंग ऑल्सो कि यार पहले 4 घंटे लाइट जाती थी, अब 2 घंटे जाने लगी है, हो सकता है आगे जाए ना.
Okay.
This was the
no,
real.
No, which is true.
Exactly, and we are happy. अगर अपनी कंट्री इस तरीके से ग्रो करती है और कल को नहीं जाती है तो what's best could have been done. उससे अच्छा नहीं हो सकता, बहुत बढ़िया जी, ऐसा ही होना चाहिए. But what about the Reliance? You are still reliant on some supply, and that supply is coming on the cost of coal, diesel, what is being imported, and when it is being imported, our forex reserves are depleting, and that is impacting your rupee, and in turn your whole business, because we still import many things from China. If my rupee is depreciated, I am impacting my business.
Yes.
And this should be a cumulative effort. If we everyone work on ground level to have independence of our electricity, solar plus BESS, then government don't need to invest in. And then what will happen next is India will be a sovereign energy electricity country. We don't have to import anything. The economy, GDP and everything will grow very fast and will become competitive to those Chinese people also if my electricity cost is cheaper.
True. Every शायद किसी भी एक चीज को हम लेकर चले and it will have a larger impact also. That's what you are also trying to say.
Yes.
And
Or
possibly,
every
and
small
then
step.
it will have further impacts on our export bills, import bills, and
Exactly.
whatever that.
So if we actually want to export, we have to be competitive with them. And the way they have done their scale and economies, they have a huge difference of peak and off peak hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1 RMB versus 2.5 RMB. मतलब 10 रुपए और 25 रुपए, ये पीक और ऑफ पीक का डिफरेंस है चाइना में.
Wow. Wow.
I am happy Maharashtra has taken the initiative and first step. They have moved from 7 to 14 rupees or 15 rupees. That's the gap of peak and off peak hours.
Okay.
So it's good, but and we have to understand this electricity cost is inflating every year, at least by 8 to 10%. हर साल बढ़ती है. If you today control with solar plus BESS,
तो शायद उसको हम
आपको इन्फ्लेशन का तो कोई पॉइंट ही नहीं
possibly we could stabilize those prices. Possibly.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's your investment. You have done it. That's done. Generation is coming from solar without any inflation. Battery is discharging without inflation. It has a life of 25 years.
Yeah.
So you have controlled the inflation. Our logistic cost today is very high. You know, that's another part which we are not solving.
Yeah.
Yeah, as good enough, we don't have anything in logistic, but country's logistic cost is very high. It's 3 times compared to China.
So when an entrepreneur says all these things, possibly he's looking to intervene or in that challenge also in future.
Yes, people
Possibly.
we should work hard as a country towards logistic. हमारे खुद के शिप नहीं है, कॉस्ट तो अपने आप बढ़ जाती है. हमारा ट्रांजिट टाइम बहुत हाई है. महाराष्ट्र से यहाँ तक आने में हमारे को 3 दिन लग जाते हैं फ्रॉम द नवा शवा पोर्ट टू हियर.
Okay.
है ना. तो and then the per kilometer cost is very high. It's coming somewhere like 17 rupees versus what is having in China is 6 rupees or half RMB.
Okay. Wow, because because we are talking about more of Indianization, more of made in India, possibly India में क्या क्या होगा. तो I also wanted to ask you, because we are developing a best manufacturing facility. इसमें क्या क्या है जिसका कंट्रोल आज आपके ऊपर है, possibly made in India or Indianization that we are talking about, and possibly what are things जो अभी भी आप जिसके बाहर dependent हैं.
So we have done it very judiciously and cautiously कि क्या हमें करना है और क्या हमें collaborate करना है. So as of today, we know India has hand over the labor cost. है ना. China में labor cost is bare minimum 50 to 60,000 rupees, 5 to 6,000 RMB per month as the minimum labor cost. अब थोड़ा स्ट्राइक के बाद में अपने यहाँ पे भी शायद 13-14,000 पहुँच गई है, बट स्टिल इज अ ह्यूज डिफरेंस. 16,000 rupees versus 60,000 rupees. इट्स अ ह्यूज डिफरेंस व्हाट वी आर कैरिंग. तो जिस भी चीज़ में लेबर इंटरवेंशन और ह्यूमन इंटरवेंशन होता है चाइना में भी, ऑल दोज थिंग्स वी आर डूइंग हियर इन इंडिया एज लाइक शीट मेटल वर्क.
Yes.
Yeah, container manufacturing. You know, we will have edge over it if compared to China because the labor is cheaper here, and they have to do it manually. Machine नहीं बनाती है container.
कुछ चीजें सिर्फ manually होने वाली हैं. Okay.
So and then second part comes to the integration and assembly part. Of course, that needs some manual intervention. Like pack तो बना दिया, उसके बाद container में installation, commissioning. So we will always have head over it. आप चाइना से इंजीनियर बुलाओगे, you will have to pay 12 lakh rupees a month.
True.
उसको अगर वहाँ पे 5 लाख मिल रहे हैं तो आने के यहाँ पे 10 तो लेगा आपसे.
बनता है.
तो you have to pay that 10 lakh rupees a month to him. तो वहाँ पे हमारा आ जाता है. Then second thing, we have developed our own tech. चाइना में if you start comparing, एक ऐसे वाली कंपनी भी है जो सबसे नीचे सबसे सस्ता देती है, एक एवरेज वाली भी है और एक टॉप क्लास भी है. Let me talk about CATL, BYD, all those things.
Okay.
And then there are average ones. So when we start comparing, we have to compare with someone, no? Either the cheapest one, the average one, or the top class one.
एक रेफरेंस पॉइंट तो
लेना पड़ेगा. You cannot say कि भैया क्वालिटी मेरे को CATL वाली देना, लेकिन प्राइस cheapest वाले का देना.
That's what we want always.
Yeah, but अगर CATL नहीं दे पा रहे तो आप हमसे कैसे ले लोगे वो प्राइस, है ना? They have all the benefit of a scale and thing.
Yes.
But let me just put it this way. We are importing cells from China. And we are doing it intentionally. Because, the speed of progression of technology into the electrochemistry of battery in China is very fast. In last 2 years, number of cycles of LFP batteries have gone from 2,000 cycles to 10,000 cycles.
Oh.
Yeah. Solid state battery is coming into picture. You have lot of development into the electrochemistry. तो इतना फास्ट है कि अगर आज मैं सेल की मैन्युफैक्चरिंग स्टार्ट भी करूंगा तो उसका गेस्टेशन पीरियड 3 साल का है. बाय द टाइम आई विल बी रेडी फॉर प्रोडक्शन. और इस 3 साल में तो मेरी टेक्नोलॉजी ऑब्सोलीट हो जाएगी.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल.
है ना?
I think that's the fear everybody is having.
Yeah. So this is not the right time to get into the
Cell
manufacturing. Let this technology get saturated. Let electrochemistry get saturated, and it's not very far. It's very close.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's how it works with every other technology also. You see the saturations. You see cell phones. अब कुछ ज़्यादा खास चेंज नहीं मिलता है.
बिल्कुल.
आज से 5 साल पहले की बात करो तो रोज नया कुछ फंडा आता था. इतने मेगापिक्सल कैमरा,
कुछ एक नया फिर भी आता था.
रेजिस्टिव टच, कैपेसिटिव टच, ये वो रोज नया एक कहानी थी.
Yes.
है ना? And that's why Nokia got out of the picture.
Yes.
तो
that was a tech change that we were talking about. Yes.
तो अब वो वाला टाइम चल रहा है जिस टाइम नोकिया बाहर निकल गया तो इंडिया को भी अंदर घुसने की जरूरत नहीं है ना? अदरवाइज अपना नोकिया वाला हाल हो जाएगा. बट आफ्टर दैट अब कुछ चेंज नहीं होता है. यू सी ऑलमोस्ट नो चेंज इन आईफोन्स ऑल्सो. The best of tech we feel.
Yeah, possibly iPhone वाला ये मना करेगा, but yeah.
Anyway, so where we can enter into is the forward integration. Apart from cell, everything whatever you have been seeing, we are trying to indigenize. PCS I just talked about. BMS we have worked over. It's not today ISO 26262 compliance, and strategically we will not be using it for the grid use cases.
Okay.
Because it's a safety concern, it's a national safety concern and security concern and lot many things. So we will use our BMS only for C&I purpose for now, for coming 2 years. And then it comes to thermal management, indigenized. Completely.
Okay.
The cooling plate is our master patent, where we have control of 2 degrees Celsius of gradient. Yeah, that's phenomenal. I'm comparing myself with all top leagues in technology.
Oh, globally you're saying?
Globally.
Wow.
Globally. These people in average or mid-level cannot do this.
And it's a patented technology.
It's a patented technology.
Oh, nice.
We have filed 5 patents till date for thermal, fire safety and all.
Okay.
Yeah. So thermal management is indigenized. Sheet metal manufacturing is indigenized. BMS is indigenized. PCS is something which we are working over. We have a partner for it who will be helping us to just make it here. And that was the plan of 450 crore somewhat in it, that PCS manufacturing India mein hi hogi.
Hoga. Okay.
Today we don't have many players manufacturing PCS. EBB hai and all. And they are also having capability but not manufacturing. They are still importing it.
Because of the demand, lack of demand?
Yeah. So we have done it very strategically. कि हमें क्या नहीं करना है. अदरवाइज द होल इंटेंट हैज़ बीन टू डू द स्क्रू लेवल इंजीनियरिंग. छोटे से छोटा स्क्रू भी हमें पता है हमने क्यों लगाया है.
Okay.
और वो कितना चलेगा. वी हैव डन ऑल द CFD एनालिसिस, वी हैव ऑल द स्ट्रक्चरल एनालिसिस, प्रोडक्ट लाइफ साइकिल मैनेजमेंट. 4 साल 4.5 साल जो हमने R&D करी है, it's for the purpose that we should be comparable to anyone in the world. When someone from Europe and US visits us, they cannot say हम चाइना से कम है. That has been the idea, and that's why we kept mum and silent rather than creating a lot of melodrama and hawks up in media. क्या चुपचाप काम करते रहो. When you are doing some good work, people will appreciate by themselves. We work on a lot of, so installation and execution is also very critical part. It's not that easy. People feel like कि चाइना से बेस लाएंगे रख देंगे हो जाएगा. No. It doesn't work like this. लॉट मैनी इंटीग्रेशन. आपको सारे कम्युनिकेशन कराने हैं. PCS का भी कम्युनिकेशन कराना है, इंटीग्रेशन कराना है, EMS को भी कम्युनिकेट कराना है.
So a lot of definitely a lot of engineering inside after, even if आपने import कर भी लिया, काफी सारे इंजीनियरिंग
है उसके बाद बहुत सारा काम. So it's something like कार तो बना ली, रोड नहीं है. तो चाहे कितनी भी प्रीमियम कार बनाई अच्छी नहीं चलेगी.
करेंगे कैसे?
So this installation and commissioning and execution is more like constructing a road.
So what is that percentage if you talk about it in terms of percentage कि कितना होगा Indianized and बाकी?
Today we are 35%.
You're 35%.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good number to actually
yeah,
figure out, and possibly 1 year down the line when we're doing this again, we would have it at 75% to 100%.
Probably, see, realistically, we are targeting it as like 50% by 2027 end.
Okay.
Because PCS will be indigenized by that time, and so that's our target. Cell manufacturing, still we don't have a vision for it because we don't know when it will get saturated.
Okay.
I see in coming 1 or 2 years when solid state battery will be there. After that, saturation will come. There will not be much more requirement. See, technology is upgraded because it is required. Once you don't need it, if you already have 40,000 cycles, if you have a stable chemistry, don't deteriorate, then what's the mean of developing it further? So वो saturation आ जाएगा. That is the sweet spot. After that, I don't believe people will keep on investing in developing more advanced batteries when it is not required.
Of course, as a businessman, you also have to see that कि क्या मेरे लिए valuable रहेगा, क्या नहीं रहेगा. That is when you get into this.
Exactly.
So, because you talked about a lot of things that Good Enough Energy is doing, and what is that moat that you look at as your business moat? Is that the patents that you're talking about? Is that something, the hardware, the software, or what is that actually that you feel that Good Enough has?
So we command over our product. Yeah. So that is something which makes us stand out. And when I say, if I have only software, then also without hardware it's useless if I don't have hardware.
Yes.
Yeah. And same goes with hardware also. So until or unless you have a combination and control over hardware and software plus execution, it's useless.
So it's a complete system that you're talking about that you own.
Yes. Yes.
And possibly that was your thought जब start किया था और आज वो आपने कर लिया है.
Exactly.
And hence you're not dependent, or you'll not remain dependent on a smaller thing or somewhere.
I'll say
Or it'll be a reduced dependence.
It will be reduced dependency. We are still dependent on some part as like the cell, but it's again.
But then everybody is.
You know, yeah.
Right
then
now.
everybody is. But that's strategic. Why we are dependent? Because if I want to create a sovereignty or independence of electrochemistry, then I may create it, but I'll be out of race. सेल तो बना लिया, साइकिल उसके 5000 हैं, उसकी स्टेबिलिटी है नहीं, डिटोरिएशन एंड डिग्रेडेशन उसका बहुत ज़्यादा है.
Yes.
तो वो ऐसी sovereignty और इंडिपेंडेंस का भी कोई फ़ायदा नहीं है if I am out of race and my investment is dead. It has to be strategic, and that's why we have kept it like this. And this dependence will, I will say, is semi-dependent on cell also. Like, you know, that's not the right term, semi-dependent. But you see it. Cell खरीदना भी अपने आप में एक art है.
Okay.
Yeah, you cannot just see the data sheet. अरे बढ़िया बढ़िया ले लिया. You have to benchmark it. You have to create your understanding about it, like what will work for you. You are anticipating a life of 10, 25 years. Data sheet says 25 degrees Celsius, 10,000 cycles. But it's never happening. 25 degree कभी नहीं होना भाई. You have to do thermal management for it, and you have to see, it's a, how to say, the bottleneck is how you create a sweet spot between the degradation of the battery and the auxiliary consumptions.
Okay.
What I mean by auxiliary consumption, you use some electricity to thermally manage the battery packs. Let's say that is 3%. भाई चिलर चलेगा तो बिजली तो लेगा ना.
बिल्कुल.
Let's say that is 3%. अब फर्ज करिए कि ये 3% गलती से 4 हो जाए. आपके एक्सेल में तो 3% था, तभी 1% एक्स्ट्रा हुआ. तो 12 साल का कितने परसेंट हो गया? 12%. This 12% is way more than your return rate. तो इतना तो आपने प्रॉफिट भी नहीं
increase in impact of the cost that.
Exactly. इतना तो आपने प्रॉफिट भी नहीं कमाना था जितना आपने ऑक्सिलरी में दिया.
Okay.
बट क्यों ज़रूरी है ये? क्योंकि 25 डिग्री पे ही 10,000 साइकिल्स आएंगे. अगर 25 डिग्री से ज़्यादा हुआ तो आपकी लाइफ घट जाएगी. वी वर जस्ट टॉकिंग अबाउट कि भैया क्या होता है. It's a simple Arrhenius equation which all we would have studied in physics. अगर आपका 10 डिग्री टेम्परेचर राइज होता है तो आपकी रिएक्शन रेट डबल हो जाता है.
Okay.
And if reaction rate is double, that means your degradation will be double. दैट मीन्स 10,000 साइकिल अब 5 रह जाएंगे,
wow.
तब आपको दोबारा से बैटरी बैंक लगाना पड़ेगा.
So all this electrochemistry knowledge that you have, that comes from what you learned in UK, Sweden, France. Is that
Again,
how it came, or it was like your again वो जो छोटा सा बच्चा आपने बताया जो बहुत सारी चीजें जानना चाहता था इस वजह से?
It's second actually. You know, I'm by core an aerospace engineer, and I am a graduate from Ivy League colleges like Chalmers, Sweden, and EC Onsma. But I still don't value degrees. Today we have a state protocol. We don't ask for any degree certificate in our HR recruitment process. कुछ नहीं पूछना होता हमें.
Okay.
We don't care about it. If you can prove it, then we don't need it. मुझे खुद नहीं पता मेरी डिग्रियाँ कहाँ पड़ी होंगी या पड़ी होंगी. So that was the curiosity which kept me awake. रात को 2 बजे 3 बजे, अरे ये ऐसा होता होगा तो कैसे होता होगा, चलो उठाओ गूगल खोलो पढ़ लो. And slowly gradually today you see 3 geometry, you have 3 capital letters in between, MET. Those are for mechanics, electronics and thermal. So that was the interdisciplinary engineering which we were inducing in our batteries. You know, you need a lot of mechanics for electric vehicle batteries. We would different road conditions se guzrenge, impact se guzrenge, different G conditions, gravity conditions, because once it is bumping. And electrical and electronics, of course, it's a battery, so a lot of BMS and engineering is required. Thermal, we just talked about. So वो MET intentionally 3 geometry में ऐसे capital में है. And today we need more engineerings in BESS more than MET, which includes cyber security, AI, and networking, IT. ये सब मिला के होता है. ये सब तो मेरे को नहीं आता ना, ये एरोस्पेस में तो नहीं पढ़ना होता है, ये तो खुद से पढ़ना होता है.
No, very good to know actually. बट अभी हम एक इंडियन कस्टमर के लिए बात करते हैं फॉर एग्जांपल. सो आज अगर हम बेस की तरफ फिर से बढ़ें तो क्या है जो जब आप एक बेस सिस्टम को किसी एक इंडियन कस्टमर या किसी कस्टमर को बेच रहे हैं, व्हाट आर दे एक्चुअली लुकिंग टुडे? आर दे स्टिल रिस्ट्रिक्टेड टुवर्ड्स कि ये प्राइस है दे दो? आर दे एक्चुअली लुकिंग एट दैट क्वालिटी, और पॉसिबली आर दे लुकिंग समथिंग ऑन अ ब्रोशर स्पेक्स के अंदर जो लिखा हुआ है एंड देन दे टेक इट, या फिर दे आर एक्चुअली लुकिंग समथिंग फॉर इम्पोर्टेड लेबल्स? So क्या है जो आज उसको रिस्ट्रिक्ट कर रहा है, और आर वी स्टिल लुकिंग एट प्राइस? बिकॉज इन व्हेनेवर वी टॉक अबाउट इंडियन कस्टमर्स एवरीबडी इज लाइक दे लुक फॉर वैल्यू फॉर मनी.
हाँ, और क्यों नहीं देखना चाहिए वैल्यू फॉर मनी? इंडिया क्यों, सारी दुनिया देखती है. सो इट्स समथिंग लाइक वी मे कॉल आवरसेल्फ और पीपल कीप ऑन कॉलिंग इंडिया कि भैया हम लोग प्राइस सेंसिटिव है, और क्यों नहीं होना चाहिए? एंड हु इज़ नॉट? कौन नेगोशिएट नहीं करता है? यूरोपियन नहीं करते हैं, अमेरिकन नहीं करते हैं. अभी तो डील हो रही थी यूएस और इंडिया की, और तब नेगोशिएट नहीं किया उन्होंने. एवरीवन लुक्स फॉर प्राइस फॉर वैल्यू एंड वैल्यू फॉर प्राइस. सो इट इज हैंड इन हैंड थिंग. वी शुड नॉट ब्लेम आवरसेल्फ फॉर इट, और वी शुड टेक अ गिल्ट ऑन आवरसेल्फ फॉर इट. इट्स वेरी ट्रू थिंग. एंड समवट टेक्नोलॉजी इज टेक्नोलॉजी ओनली इफ इट इज सेलेबल.
ऑफ कोर्स,
है ना. अगर उसको शोरूम में लगा के रखना है तो फिर क्या फायदा?
उसका क्या फायदा? बिल्कुल.
सो as of today, if people are price sensitive, I am happy to listen to them. They should be. But if you are comparing the cheap, low level someone who don't know technology from China, and then comparing someone in China only who is investing a lot in R&D and developing a product which will deliver you value and promise and trust and services, it's unfair. In China only.
True.
And you cannot do the same in India also. Yeah, so we are very open to have discussions why our product is priced at that point. We don't want to charge you premiums for our R&D and product. We charge you for the values what we are delivering. अगर आपकी ROI नहीं निकलती है हमारे प्रोडक्ट से, we are happy to listen everything from you.
Okay.
Yeah, my first challenge.
What you are claiming at least is happening. That's why you
exactly
would put that cost.
Exactly. We will deliver you the value, services, product, ROI, payback. अगर वो नहीं आ रहा है तो फिर कोई फायदा नहीं है. Why would you trust us?
Why would anybody trust actually?
हाँ. और अगर मेरा देशवासी, मेरा भाई इंडियन ही मेरे पे ट्रस्ट नहीं करेगा तो भैया मेरे को तो बाहर बेचने जाना है, वो कैसे करेगा मेरे पे? बिल्कुल. So my first idea is to create a brand for India first and then to export it.
Okay. On that actually, because we are trying to create a brand for India today, तो अगर जो हमारे इंडियन, अगर हम बोले Exide Energy, Amara and all that, they are also getting into such businesses. Where do you see yourself in compared to them? And similarly for a global competitors, if you talk about, where are you placed?
See, The other players, what you have talked about, they are into lead acid batteries from long time.
Yes.
Yeah. And we are into lithium-ion also from long time, and not like them, but longer than them in lithium-ion battery for sure. 13 years, definitely no Exide, no Amara had been there.
For lithium, yeah.
Yeah. So we understand the dynamics of lithium-ion battery in India, how it works. We have done R&D on that for a long time, and the customer intimacy, the interaction of founder to the customer is only possible with GoodEnough. Yeah. Maybe for big projects, you may have that interaction in Exide and Amara, but when I'm talking about some industrialist, that's only possible with GoodEnough. When I am comparing with all legacy companies, Exide and Amara. Yeah.
Okay.
If someone like, again, GoodEnough is a parallel to me, they may also have the same kind of customer intimacy. But this understanding and face-to-face conversation can happen at this level only, not on a Amara and Exide level. Yeah. So it's up to you if you want to have that interaction.
So the comparison is different basically
it's
when you're
different,
talking about them.
And again, the experience and the problem what we have been solving, and the problem they have, they don't promote lithium-ion. You know why? If they promote lithium-ion, it is true fact, it is cheaper than lead acid, it is advanced than lead acid, they will kill their own business.
Sure.
So they will not promote lithium-ion for a while also.
Okay.
They have a big, massive infra for lead acid.
Exactly.
It will be
what will
zero
happen
in
to
one
them?
day
Yeah.
if they promote lithium-ion.
So we have seen the same similar into the EV companies also, because somebody
Yes.
who has been selling big number of cars, they can't just shift their operation.
Yeah.
That's
See,
why
Maruti.
that's why we saw some new players entering that market.
Exactly.
तो शायद वो एक time frame उनको
That's how
चाहिए.
Tesla came into picture.
Exactly. Because they had
इतने automotive players में Tesla कहाँ से आ गया एकदम से?
True. So amazing, Akash. A great conversation on जो आप बेस्ट में आज कर रहे हैं, शायद इंडिया कहाँ तक उसमें पहुँचना चाहता है. Now we want to give you a small break. We have a section called PodPlay, section where our guest gets informal and we have some fun questions, and so we wanted to start this. और हमें अभी पता चला है कि you know different languages, not just Hindi and English, possibly you know some more languages if you can tell us.
It's just like, as I lived in France, so French, and then a bit of Polish, and then mostly I like more about India, so talking about Indian languages.
Okay, perfect. So we have created this section specifically for you.
Yeah.
So we have some Bollywood dialogue and you have to say it in some other language. Right? सब हिंदी के dialogues हैं. Possibly if you say in French or Polish, I'll tell you when to say what. Right? तो let's start. तो पहला dialogue है तुमसे ना हो पाएगा. In French.
तूने से पत्र भाई है.
Okay, wow, this looks a little different. Possibly you'll have to add an emotion also here. Again, in French, if you say Pushpa, I hate tears.
Pushpa jana adore tears. I don't remember tears.
Okay. Okay, this could be really interesting for you. We have Dawn को पकड़ना मुश्किल ही नहीं नामुमकिन है.
Oh no.
Possibly in French.
डॉन को पकड़ना मुश्किल ही नहीं नामुमकिन है. Ce n'est pas possible. It's same in French. Yeah, that's
Possibly Shahrukh saying it in French then.
Ce n'est pas possible.
Okay. Another one that we have is, again, you can say it in Polish also. थप्पड़ से डर नहीं लगता साहब, प्यार से लगता है.
No, I don't know that much of Polish.
Okay, we can go back to French then. Possibly how it'll feel like. So French में आकर बताना चाहे तो ये थप्पड़ से डर नहीं लगता साहब, प्यार से लगता है.
No, just leave that. I'm not recalling those words. It's almost like 8-9 years, so my vocab has gone bad for French also.
Okay, फिर भी एक और ट्राई करते हैं, चलिए. So तारीख पे तारीख, तारीख पे तारीख.
No.
So possibly in French is what? It's simple, I think. Date ही है क्योंकि सिर्फ इसमें.
हाँ. Jour, 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 jour. And that's how you will say.
And the last one is Mogambo खुश हुआ.
Mogambo Huru.
Wow. Okay. Okay, so we have another segment, and that was fun actually. So this we call as WhatsApp University versus factory reality. I think in some of your conversation you have actually quoted this WhatsApp University thing. So we have created this. So I'll read a statement. You'll tell me whether it's a WhatsApp University, half truth, or factor reality. These three options that you have. So I hope you're ready. So the first one is all best products are basically the same.
Half truth.
Okay. Possibly if you want to explain that also.
Yeah. So in fundamental, it's a battery only. Yeah,
Okay.
that's true. But it depends on what is the use case. You decide upon the technology, PCS, EMS, and everything as per the use case. If it is for ancillary support, or if it is for backup solution, or if it is just for energy arbitrage.
Okay. The second one is if cells are imported, nothing Indian is being built.
As per APRI report, apart from cells, the fire accident happened in BESS. 71% are because of balance of system apart from cell. So you may consider if cell is being imported, it's only 45 to 50% of the cost value, and it comes to technology, it's only 10%.
So it's again half truth then.
Yeah.
So lowest cost means best value.
Then not possible. WhatsApp University.
Okay. So the next one is safety is just a certification problem.
No, all those best. It's a WhatsApp University thing, because all those fire accident happened. They all had UL certificate. Like,
Oh, wow.
You talk about Tesla and all, but it's a progression. Goes slowly. Today UL 6th edition says it should have large scale fire test. Then only you will be approved as per 6th edition. But still, even if you have that certification, any latent effect may create a catastrophe, or maybe a small thumb lane effect you would have missed it in during manufacturing may create a catastrophe after 7 years also.
Oh, that's amazing to know. And the next one is BESS is only useful for utility scale projects.
And we discussed throughout. It's a WhatsApp University thing only. We can use it for multiple use cases, not only utility, for personal use cases, for factory use cases, and for grid independence or whatever.
And the last one is patents automatically mean technological leadership.
No, the patents are not something. Though we have patents, but we don't feel like patent is everything. It's we do patent. I'm just being truthful for marketing.
Okay.
Yeah, because actually, what I have made today might not be useful tomorrow. We have to keep on upgrading it. If I keep on using the same patent for 5 years, it's of no use.
No use.
We cite it 10 times. We have 5 patents and all. We have our master patent in thermal management because we own it. We want to tell you that we know the leadership. We know what is the product. But having patent gives you no leadership.
Okay.
Yeah. I may sell you my patents. You will have patent. Then you will become leader. No, it's not possible.
Let me buy some for then. Okay, that was amazing, Akash. A wonderful conversation. Now we want to move into the core of what's the vision, where we talk about or we take the user, take them a time travel to 2047. Right? So today I would want to know what's the vision for Akash Kaushik for India 2047.
I want to see India such like where we really care about our each single step. If we are buying some clothes, we should know what will happen to it afterwards, and our coming generation children will be at least that much educated, so they will understand every step they are taking will have some impact for future. And I am careful about those. I care about the coming generations. And I believe in 2047, everyone will be same alike. We will have the independence of power.
Okay.
As like India recently passed on the nuclear second stage test. So after 15 years, we will be on third stage. So, but definitely, if we have that much of nuclear power, we don't have any reliance over anyone. BESS is something which will be a part of system more like internet, which is there but not visible. People can see, people can feel it but not see it, or they just consider it as a normal part of system. We will have enough of electricity as like we today have, but also stability, because BESS is balancing it throughout. Through the roadmap, it will happen such like the policies which are conducive today. Government is supporting the Indian manufacturing system. Today we are 35%. Definitely we will be 100% in 2047.
Oh.
And many more people in India will be having the same kind of infra and facilities. And by 2030 and 35, we will see things on ground. Yeah, by 2030, we will be just developing policy system, attenuating the market, understanding how it is working, and the misconceptions of WhatsApp universities will be over in 2030 for sure.
Possibly some other tool would have come by that time.
Yeah. So AI is helping people a lot. So they may overcome with WhatsApp University. Yeah. If they really want to fact check,
Yeah.
go with any tool, Perplexity, ChatGPT, and check it. You will get the right
I
answer.
think by that time we will have our glasses and it's like somebody will have to fact check it right moment उसी time हो जाएगा. You might not need to pick up a phone also. That
yeah,
time.
ये झूठ बोला.
So possibly a cross and a tick mark could be there whenever you are saying something.
Indeed.
Wow. And what sort of a company that you see, because we are also talking about storage, तो ऐसी कौन सी इंडियन आप देख रहे हैं कि इंडिया 2047 तक would have won this race of Indian storage. So ऐसा क्या होगा उस कंपनी में? And
So-
yeah.
Please.
And because you mentioned, because it will be all at the background and may not be even visible, क्योंकि वो सब एक प्रोसेस का एक हिस्सा बन चुका होगा. तो कैसी होगी वो कंपनी जो?
Something like India is superpower again. The emphasis on again is more important.
Okay, wow. So, okay, great. So that again term actually created some thoughts around. So what that could be actually?
So see, I am very pro to the Vedic literature and studies and what we were before. I am very proud about the past and history of India, and regularly when I see it, like we used to do the 42% of the global trade, as per the quotes from W. Digsby, a famous historian.
Okay.
That India was doing 42% of global trade, and like we were sole exporting country. We not used to import anything. We were just only exporting country. So those sort of a fact keep me always on head, like why I wasn't that time and why I can't see that time now, and if I'll be able to see that in 2047, I'll be more than happy.
Possibly जो हम नहीं देख पाए थे शायद 20 साल बाद हो.
Exactly.
Wow, great thought around that vision that you created actually. And but हर एक vision जो हम future के लिए बना रहे हैं needs a roadmap, like a blueprint, a roadmap to reach there. It can't be done in a 1 year or 2 year time frame. So if I have to break this down into 3 phases, as 26 से 2030, 2030 से 2040, and then 247. What do you think needs to happen at every stage to the vision, to reach to that vision that you actually created today?
So the vision is more like we are more like a exporting country. We don't have trade deficit. We import less, export more. So
Okay.
if I have to say an ideal country or benchmark, if I have to consider, is China today. So what I see, what has happened between Japan and China in last 30 years, if we do 50% of it in India also, we will have the same kind of headline that we are exporting economy now, as China is today. What happened that time? Like they learned and then they chose the best from Japan and made it better.
Okay.
Yesterday, I saw a bike race where a company known as XTM 100 from China beat Kawasaki and Suzuki in the bike race
No.
at a speed of 300 kilometer per hour. Yeah, and there was a time it was considered China's product are not reliable. So it was a journey. Yeah, like now they are at that level that they are beating Kawasaki and Suzuki.
Wow.
So that will happen. I am not saying that may happen. That will happen in India. Only thing is to we keep on continuing the following the roadmap of R&D.
So वही इसी phases में अगर हम उसको break out करें तो कैसे होगा? For next 5 years, what do you
So-
see कि that has to happen?
So
And
what
then-
I'll say, we have to commit as companies and so enterprises that we will be investing bare minimum 2 to 2.5% of our revenue stream into the R&D, because that's the only thing can give us self-reliance. Irrespective if we have to add that cost to our profit or cut down from our profit or maybe add to the cost of the product, it doesn't matter. But if we commit ourselves, then this is sure that by 2030 or 31, we will be in a state where we will be known as a manufacturing country rather than a assembly country.
Yep.
We are more pronounced as assemblers today.
Assemblers. Yeah.
And for the next step is more about the explosion and deployment, like the further 7-8 years, it will be something like the multiplication of the nuclear activities, as like that if I have made some product, others are copying it down the line and making it more better and more advanced. They are also inducing their funds and R&D on it.
Okay.
And by 2040, I see we will be already at a stage where people start looking to India, coming to India for exploring their needs and requirement. And then the next 5 years will be more about the trust building. Like we are not new, and if we are new, then we have achieved that benchmark, what is required. Just to create the trust will need another 5 or 7 years. So that's how we can see by 2047 we will be an exporting economy.
Wow. And do you see any bottlenecks which would stop us to reach there? Any
Multiple.
Top.
But to be specific, there are three, I would say the financial regulations are essentially required, like the taxation, the exemptions. You know, we will need people to support us. Like when I say choose the best, if I'm choosing the best, that best should be allowed to collaborate with me. That best should be given some advantage to just collaborate with me, be it from China, Japan, Korea, wheresoever. That collaboration should be appreciated by the government and policies and the financing system, as what we see in Singapore, what we see in Malaysia. Yeah, those are small economies, but still the model what they have created is because of appreciating the others, what were bringing the best to their country.
Yes.
Yeah, that is essentially required, that appreciating the best with financial models and policies. What if they are collaborating with some Indian counterpart?
So you're saying appreciating the best or appreciating the best? Or best is the best?
Best. No, we are good enough. so choosing the best. Yeah, that's our ideology. If you ask anyone in GoodEnough also, they will call upon this. Choose the best and make it better, because we don't believe in reinventing the wheel from the scratch. Yeah, we don't have that much of time in our lifespan. Yeah, we hardly work for 25 to 30 years as like super agnostic people. Yeah. So in 30 years, if we keep trying to reinventing the wheel what someone has already done, it will be cumbersome for us. Yeah. So that should be the ideology carried by most of the people in India, that choose the best across the world, whatever is available, and then be re-engineer it or more engineer it for the better.
I think in one of your conversations somewhere, I also heard that because China has done something, it's definitely better to get that tech or use that tech rather than rebuilding it and possibly build on top of it.
Yeah.
I think that has remained your philosophy also.
Yeah.
Not rebuilding, but
Yes.
use what already exists.
Exactly. So if we wanted to just build BESS from very scratch without the help of Chinese people or understanding their product, never visiting China, then this would have not been possible in 4.5 years. Yeah.
Makes sense.
I have visited China almost 6 to 7 times in one, even more than that. In 2025, it was 10 times.
Wow.
10 times in China, and every stay was more than 15 days. So almost half a year I was in China.
So it was important to learn exactly what's happening or
Yes.
what best is happening actually.
Yes, that the keen eye and the curiosity whenever you are visiting someone and understanding why he has done that and why he has not done that. Not done that is also important.
Yes, true.
Yeah, and today there are multiple people, like, just to give you an example of thermal cooling plate, the plate used for the liquid flow inside the battery. There are multiple offerings from China. Have the cooling plate from us and then make the pack. It's available. People are sharing it, selling it to you.
Okay.
Yesterday only, I asked this lady from China who is offering to most of the people. I got it from trade data to check what exactly she is offering or they are offering. And when I got that, first glimpse, not even the simulation. Without doing the simulation, I was that confident. अभी तो इस लेडी को उस जगह पहुंचने में जहां हमें 4 साल लग जाएंगे.
Wow.
Yeah, because the design was very flawed. It's like quite basic. Every bike is not Kawasaki or Suzuki, but we may call it a bike.
True.
Bike is bike, but it's not Kawasaki or Suzuki. Yeah? So that's what, like, they will take a time. I was confident about that lady from China also, that she will take another 4 years to reach where good enough is today. But that lady, not CATL,
But somebody else,
somebody else has
possibly
already
would
there.
have done it.
Yeah. So that's something we have to understand, that we don't have to build on something which is not substantial. That's not good enough. Okay. Choose something at least good enough and then build on it. Otherwise, you are wasting your time.
Wow. Possibly you want to remove that something. Choose something from good enough or choose good enough. You want to remove that something for people or your clients actually.
Nah. So the ideology of good enough in itself is something which may not allowing me to remove a red because it's good enough.
Okay.
Yeah. So we believe best has a very short life. Good enough stays for longer. So that's why I'm very happy for whatever I have been given by great God, and I'm very humble to say that whatever have been with me as of today, it's good enough.
Wow.
Yeah.
And let me give you some superpowers. And if you had the superpower for any year or for 100 days, what are some steps that you would want to take, because the roadmap that we built, and what are the intervention that you're looking for, one or two that you would instantly do if you had all the authority and the superpower that you
The first thing, made all the laws as like Nepal government has done. Like Nepal government, you know about it. Like, they have changed all the laws. The new prime minister, that there are no private schools allowed. All have to, even if you are a MP or MLA, your kids will study in the same school.
Okay. Wow.
No VIP treatment, no barricadings, no extra security. Same hospital for everyone. Wow. No private hospitals are allowed. Those sort of a thing. So that's something I'll do. Like just creating. I'm very avid follower of Ram Rajya kind of a thing. If that is possible, I'll make it through all in 100 days.
Great. So definitely your vision, and possibly, as you talked about, Nepal's new leadership also, and again a young person who's taken up, and possibly these substantial changes might require.
Yes, we should learn from Nepal. What they have been doing is phenomenal. Yeah, really. I don't know how it will, what will be the outcome, but the steps they have taken is something everyone is appreciating, not me only.
Okay, wow. So thanks, Akash, for that wonderful vision and the blueprint that we created. It was really nice to actually be at that place after 20 years that we look at. And now we have our final round. It's what's the FAQ? It's the rapid fire round. Yeah. We have some good questions. We expect great answers from you. I hope you're ready.
Yeah, I'll try my best.
Okay, so I'll shoot. First one, cheap product or reliable product? What
reliable product.
Okay. Scale fast or scale safely?
Scale fast.
Software edge or hardware edge?
It's actually both. But
Okay.
I'll say it's more than that. Software, hardware, plus execution.
Fluxes.
And
Okay.
consistency also.
Okay. Build for India first or export from day one?
Build for India first.
Patents or proven deployments?
Proven deployments.
And now we'll require one word for these. One word for India's best sector today.
Transitioning.
One word customers misunderstand most in storage.
Safety.
One word that defines quality.
Certification.
Most overrated buzzword in battery storage right now.
Degradation.
Degradation. Okay. One myth about Make in India you want to kill.
Assembly is not manufacturing.
Okay, that's the difference people have to understand.
You have to work on R&D, then only it is manufacturing.
Okay. One thing Indian buyers should stop doing immediately, again in terms of BESS.
One word.
No. One thing Indian buyers should stop doing immediately.
Comparing it with the cheapest of China.
Okay. One decision that keeps you awake at night.
I started early.
Okay. Okay. One thing you refuse to compromise on.
Research and development.
Research. Okay. And one final thing, if a Bollywood movie was made on you, who would one actor that you want it to play?
Maybe you.
Wow. I am. Okay, great. Okay, thanks Akash. That was wonderful conversation. It was very nice to have you on the show and discuss about various things that we have done on BESS and how India would progress in 2047.
It was lovely having you.
Thanks Akash.
Thank you for watching this episode of What's the Vision. आगे भी हम ऐसे visionaries आपके लिए लाते रहेंगे. If you really like the conversation that happened, please do share it with one more person जो इसको और समझ सके, understand कर सके और शायद इससे कुछ सीख सके. Till the time we meet next, thank you.